Hello everybody, welcome back to Park Voyage. Today I'm at Hansa Park for my first ever visit. Really excited to be here. I don't really know what to expect. I've tried not to do much research because from what people have said is that it's kind of a really good park to go to when you don't really know much about. However, there's 7 roller coasters to get on, including Karnan and Flucht von Novgorod. I'm completely butchering that and I'm going to butcher it all day. I'm going to butcher both of them. I'm super excited for Karnan. It looks absolutely amazing. As I say, I couldn't even tell you how many versions it is. The only thing I know is that it's a Gerslauer infinity coaster with lap bars, I think. So we're going to head over there first. But yeah, it should be a really good day. I've got here just after the park opens. It's about 10:30. Park opened at 10 o'clock. I was hoping to get here for 10. However, I had a bit of a nightmare with the car hire this morning. Got there for 8 o'clock to pick the car up. The guys didn't open until about 8:15 and there was already a massive queue, so I ended up waiting about 45 minutes, didn't pick the car up until just gone 9 o'clock at the airport, which is a bit of a nightmare. Not a great way to start the day. However, I'm determined to have an amazing day here. So yeah, let's head to Karnan first. For me at a theme park, it's not all about the roller coasters, it's also about the theming. Like, look how cool this entrance plaza is. You've got a train down there, you've got a coaster over there, don't even know what it's called. And look at all of the kind of brickwork and theming around. Look at that for an entrance. So yeah, I hope it's not going to be a very busy day. I'll update you on some queue times in a minute. But yeah, let's head to Karnan first. Okay, about a 24-minute wait for Karnan this morning. Going to give that a go. Very precise, it's 24 minutes as well. Does look super cool. Look at this. I've heard a load of noises from inside of that tower. Haven't got a clue what goes on in there, but we're going to go and find out. Look how epic it looks though. Right, I'll see you when I get off. So I've just come off of Schwur des Karnan, I think that's how you say it. It basically means the oath of Karnan, translated it into English, I think. And that coaster was absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad that I didn't watch any POVs or have any spoilers for it, because if I had, it would have kind of completely ruined it. And if you don't want any spoilers, I advise that you skip forward sort of 20 or 30 seconds if you haven't been on this coaster before. So it sort of sets the scene of the Karnan is some sort of monster and you're trying to fight it, basically. It is kind of the theme from what I understand going through the queue. The queue was absolutely fantastic. Loads of really good theming in there. I'll try and film a little bit of it later on if I can. Quite dark in there, to be honest, but yeah, overall really good theming, sets it up perfectly. I'm going to a bit of a pre-show, which is quite cool because it's how they do the baggage hold. So at the end of the pre-show, the baggage hold opens and that's where you put your bag, and it's basically that you're going into the master's office and it's so small that you can't take your personal belongings with you. So I think that's a pretty cool way to do the baggage hold. Then get onto the coaster. So I was right, it is a Gerslauer infinity coaster with lap bars. I think it's just got one inversion on there, which is a sort of barrel roll towards the end. However, that's not kind of the main feature. The main feature is the lift hill. As you're going up the vertical lift hill, you stop about 3/4 of the way up. There's some sort of projection that comes on right at the top. So you're in the vertical position here, looking straight up at this projection. And it sort of tells the story. I mean, it's all in German, so I couldn't really understand it, but and I'm sort of 3rd row back, so I couldn't see it either. I'm hoping to get front row. There's no subtitles on there, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to understand what they're saying. However, you can see the monster, it looks really cool, and then you actually drop on that vertical lift, which I was not expecting at all. I just thought that was going to be it, and then you were going to kind of go over the top. So you kind of drop down, brake towards the bottom, re-engages the cog as such, and then goes right back up to the top, and then you kind of do the layout. The layout is okay, it's not a world-class layout. However, that first bit is super unique. Never experienced anything like that on a roller coaster before. That was, yeah, I was not expecting it. Proper made my stomach go, that did. It was really good fun. As I say, the rest of the layout is okay. Operation's pretty decent. We're in 2 trains, waited around about 15 minutes or so not quite up to the 25-minute mark that it said, but it's a pretty quiet day here. Yeah, overall, as an overall attraction, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. The coaster's probably a 6 out of 10. Nothing fabulous, but that unique element is absolutely awesome. I'm going to head over and do another name that I'm going to butcher, Flucht von Novgorod, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I don't know what that translates to. I'll have a look and let you know when I get over there. And I believe this is a Gerstlauer Eurofighter, so yeah, we'll go and see what that one looks like. So just come off of Flucht von Novgorod. Pretty sure I'm absolutely butchering that, and I apologise to any German people that watch this video. Overall, a pretty decent coaster. It stands for Escape from Novgorod, I think. That's what Google Translate says, so that's what I'm going to go with. Overall, yeah, a decent coaster. Sort of start by sort of go around into a dark ride sort of section. It's only about 15-20 seconds or so, that dark ride section. And then you go into a really punchy launch, an LSM launch, which I was not expecting. Wasn't expecting that at all. Really, really punchy. Can do a little bit of a layout outside. Again, similar to Karnan that I did before. Nothing spectacular in the layout, just an okay layout. Into a heartline roll. And then you go sort of up a vertical lift hill after that and kind of stop again halfway up, very similar to Karnan. Stop halfway up, but you don't drop back down this time. There's just sort of a little sort of, not really an animatronic, it's more just a set piece on the left with some sort of screening on it, some projection on it even, that is saying something. Again, have no idea what it's saying. Kind of go up there into a little sort of dark coaster section, which was actually really good because it's pitch black in there, you cannot see anything at all. Up into kind of a final little bunny hill with a scare sort of stuck to the top of it, very similar to Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park. If you've done that, when you go down that sort of first drop, you kind of get that scare piece, and then sort of into the brake run. So not an absolute world-class coaster, just a decent coaster, but the theming really adds to it. Both of those wouldn't be out of place at a Disney park, I think, in terms of the theming, the build-up in the queue, the overall ride experience was really, really good. So yeah, not the most thrilling coasters in the world. I was expecting that from Karnan, I won't lie. However, it was a really, really, really good ride, both of them. Both thoroughly enjoyed them, and I'm glad that I didn't watch POVs of either of them. So I kind of got my first reaction, and it was not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting a really thrilling type coaster, but both of them are just good, fun, enjoyable rides, and I'd recommend everybody to come over and give them a go. My plan now is to go and do, I believe there's a classic Schwarzkopf somewhere, so I'm going to go and give that a go, I think. So yeah, I'll try and put in some off-ride footage of both Karnan and Flucht von Novgorod, which I'm definitely saying wrong. But yeah, I'll try and put in a bit of off-ride footage if I haven't already of both of these coasters so you can kind of see them. I think that the Escape from Novgorod, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. Escape from Novgorod coaster will be difficult to film because there's not much, as where Karnan seems to have some pretty decent vantage points. So yeah, do that first and then head to the classic Schwarzkopf that they've got. So I was going to head over and do the Schwarzkopf. However, I was just walking past Crazy Mine, which is a classic Maurer Wild Mouse, which opened here back in 1997. it's pretty much walk on, so I'm going to go and give it a go. For a wild mouse theme to a mine, it's actually a pretty cool one. Look, you've got animatronic there going up the road. Pretty cool theming, to be honest. So yeah, it's walk on, so I probably won't give you a review because it's just a classic wild mouse. But yeah, we'll head to the Schwarzkopf after this. I wasn't going to do a review of that wild mouse, however I am. That was quite good actually. Normally with those coasters they just kind of throw you around and really hurt and you have to hold on tight, but that kind of weird restraints, it kind of sat sort of just above your tummy really, sort of right on your ribs, and it meant that it was a much more enjoyable experience than sort of normally clinging on for dear life and getting your knees bashed around. You also sat a lot lower in the track than what I'm normally used to with wild mouses, so yeah, overall pretty decent. The theming was decent as well, as I say, for a wild mouse, so it's pretty good. So I'm heading to the Schwarzkopf. I think it's a shuttle loop. As I say, I don't know much about this park. So far, it's completely exceeded my expectations. It wasn't what I expected, however, it has exceeded my expectations. So I think it's a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop. However, I think this is it, and it doesn't look like a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop, but I'm going to go and give it a go. Maybe it's 2 coasters in one, and that looks like a really tall drop tower, which I will definitely be giving a go. So yeah, I think it's called Nessie, so we're going to head around there and give the Schwarzkopf a go. I'll let you know when I get around there what it is. Just done Nessie here at Hansa Park, and I got it wrong. It was not a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop, it's just a regular Schwarzkopf with just a loop. But another really good fun ride. Like, again, not quite what I was expecting. I thought it was a shuttle loop, but it's not. And I really like in the station as well how it's got a screen that tells you how quickly you go through the loop. It's normally about between sort of 84 and 85 miles an hour. But yeah, just as I say, again, a really, really, really good ride. Smooth as well, which I wasn't expecting from opening in 1980, so a 45-year-old roller coaster. I wasn't expecting it to be this smooth. They clearly look after them here because there's a Gerstlauer Eurofighter that's smooth, Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, which I'd expect to be smooth with lap bars. You've got the Wild Mouse that I've just done, the Crazy Mine ride thing, that was pretty smooth. You've got the Schwarzkopf, which was smooth as well. So yeah, really impressed. I thought that both of the last two especially and the Gerstlauer Eurofighter were going to be headbangers, but neither of them have been. They've not been that intense, but again, they don't need to be intense to be rough. So yeah, overall a pretty decent ride. I think I'm going to give this drop tower a go. It looks really, really good, this one. My favourite one is Acrophobia, which is over at Six Flags Over Georgia, which I did earlier this year, which tilts you. I don't think this one tilts you, but I'm going to go and have a look and give this one a go, and then I'm going to jump on the Flying Scotsman, which is another sort of kiddie coaster here. Just done Highlander and the Royal Scotsman here at Hansa Park. First of all, Highlander is a brilliant, brilliant drop tower. Don't think it quite replaces Acrophobia as my favourite drop tower. However, the views are absolutely spectacular. Up there for so long, spins all the way around, all the way up. Really, really, really good. When you get to the top, it tilts you. I think it's got a tilt and a super tilt, looking at the kind of cue board time, it sort of says that it's normal tilt to 1 o'clock, and then after 1 o'clock it's super tilt. So I might give that a go. So it tilts you while you're still spinning, which is quite cool. However, you don't drop while you're tilted, so you tilt so you can see the floor, and you come back up into that absolutely incredible view. It is, you can see for absolute miles, you see the whole park, you can see everything. It is brilliant. Then, as I say, it tilts you forward slightly for while you're still spinning. You probably do 1 full rotation while you're tilted. Then it puts you back into the seated position. Then you drop. I don't know if I've mentioned, but it's got onboard audio as well, sort of playing the sort of traditional Scottish music. That kind of just cuts out just before you drop, and you drop all the way down. Really forceful drop. Not the longest drop in the world, even though it's quite tall. The brakes kick in quite quickly. But a decent force on there. So yeah, overall, I'd probably say give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Really good fun drop tower. And I really like the interaction that it gets with Nessie as well. So Nessie is the Schwarzkopf coaster that goes around it. I've tried to put a bit of footage in there so you can see it. But yeah, you get some decent interaction there. As we were going up, they'd just come up the lift hill, so sort of they were waving, we were waving it. It looked pretty cool. And then, as you've just heard, did the Flying Scotsman. You've just heard the whistle go there. Again, just a decent little kiddie coaster there, just one for the credit. Again, nice and smooth, decent theming. Overall, really impressed so far. Not quite sure where I'm going to head to next. I think there's a couple more coasters I've got to do to tick them off. There's also a dark ride that I've seen that looks sort of space themed, so I'll go and give that a go. I've got no idea what to expect there. Sometimes dark rides can be great, sometimes they can be pretty awful when you don't know what to expect. I'm thinking back to that Ghost Train at Energylandia that I did that will just live on forever. That was one of the worst things I've ever done, but yeah, you've got to experience these things. I'm also going to get something to eat as well, I think, just before I do that, and then tick off the last few coasters, and then probably have another go on Karnan, I think. So they are building a new coaster here. You can't really see much of it here because of the construction walls. However, if you go on the drop tower, you can see all of them. And it is a Gerstlauer family coaster, and it's going to be called the Cornwall Coaster, which I think you'll be able to see if I just move up here. It says established in 2026, so that's obviously the edition for next year. Should be a pretty decent ride, judging by the layout that we've seen online. And in case you hadn't guessed it, it fits quite nicely into the UK-themed area of the park. So you've got the Cornwall coaster there, and if I pan round for you, you've got Nessie, Highlander, and the Flying Scotsman, or Royal Scotsman even, not Flying Scotsman, the Royal Scotsman over here. Here's a little bit more of the construction happening for the Cornwall coaster that's coming in 2026. Bit of a better view, you can see what looks like the station building going in there. It's on a decent sized plot of land. Yeah, so just a family Gerstlauer coaster that's coming here in 2026. So since I last spoke to you, I've had another go on Karnan. Absolutely brilliant ride this time. I was sat row 2, and I really got a clear view of the Viking or the Nordic person that cast a spell on you. It was really, really good, that one. I'm hoping to get a front row ride because it's definitely a front row coaster, I reckon. Just because you'll be able to fully experience it. I reckon that the drop when you're on that vertical lifter will be a lot better on the front as well. I don't know if it's completely random seat assignment. So when you go in, you kind of 8 people go to the left and 8 people go to the right before you get on the train, and then you're split into 2 groups of 4 based on left or right, and then you kind of, it looks like you're randomly assigned rows, but I reckon if you're on the left hand side you're guaranteed row 1 or row 2, and if you're on the right hand side you're guaranteed rows 3 or row 4. So hopefully if I keep going to the left then I'll get row 1. So I was right the first time, so I got row 3, and I was left the second time and got row 2. So we'll wait and see. If I can manage to get row 1. After that, I grabbed a bratwurst, really, really good food here as well. Bratwurst, some fries and a drink for €10. If I was back in the UK, you'd be paying like 15, 20 quid for that. So yeah, overall, really, really, really good. And then I've just had a go on one of the kiddie coasters here. It was okay, it was just a standard sort of kiddie coaster. I think it's a Zero Tivoli coaster. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's a Zero, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I've ticked that off. So I've got one coaster left to do. I'm going to jump on this boat ride that's just here that I'll hopefully be able to take you on for, so we can have a look around there. It looks pretty cool, so I'll put in some shots of that. So the little boat ride was absolutely awesome. Yeah, just a nice little relaxing ride around on there. I'm thinking that those kind of butterflies and flowers are lights and they light up when it's dark. I'm not going to be here when it's dark, so I won't be able to see that, but that's what I'm guessing. And speaking of little rides, I'm going to go and do the train next, which I think it's just over this way. I'll pan around in a second so you can see it. The station for that is just to my right. Now, I always recommend doing the train rides and these little flat rides when you come to parks. A lot of people miss them out because they think, oh, they're not thrilling, that sort of stuff. But you get some really cool views, get some really, really unique places to kind of see coasters and things like that. So I don't know what this one's going to be like. I'll let you know if it's any good or not. However, it's very rare that I'm let down by a train. I can't actually think of a bad one that I've done. So this is the station for it. And you've got Escape from Novgorod, which is just there. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for the train to come round, and then we'll have a go around on there, and if there's any cool shots or anything, I will put it on for you guys.
Vegetarier und Veganer finden auch in diesem Themenbereich viel Spaß. Und Gemüse gibt es natürlich auch in den Bereichen. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the footage from on the train there. Some pretty good views, not the best train in the world, but some pretty decent ones all in all, and some good views of Karnan and of the entrance to Escape from Novgorod. Still can't say it properly. I've just had another go on Escape from Novgorod. When you're in there, as you go sort of through the queue line, it splits into 3 towards the end. You've got front row, second row and single rider. don't do single rider because you're about 10 minutes from the actual getting on. So even if you're in the single rider queue, I don't think you'd save any time. I did that the first time around and I didn't save any time. And the second time around, I went into the front row queue because I definitely wanted to guarantee the front row. And it looked as if the single rider queue would have been longer than just waiting in the main queue. So they do that on a couple of the rides here. So yeah, I just say don't bother with kind of the single rider queues here. It doesn't really make much sense. It wouldn't save you any time. But yeah, when it splits into three, definitely do the front row if the front and the second row are the same length of time. You'd definitely rather wait for a front row than do row 2. And row 1 is a much better experience. Like, that launch is so snappy. 62 point something miles an hour it gets up to, and it is really punchy. You sort of come around the corner, you're not quite expecting it to be like that, and it just kicks into a second gear and really goes for it. The rest of the layout is okay. The Heartline roll is pretty decent as well, and it's kind of a bit like a sort of a non-inverting Cobra roll, I guess. It's how I'd describe it, the kind of turnaround section. That's pretty cool as well. But yeah, definitely do the front row if both those queues are the same length. I think the plan now is to go and there's one coaster left, which I think is in kind of the splash zone type area. There is a log flume there, but I will not be doing that. I've currently got 4 layers on and it is freezing, so I do not want to get soaked. I'll maybe put a little bit of off-ride footage of it if anybody's in there, but it looks quite a good log flume, to be fair. So yeah, plan is to go and do the last coaster that I've got to do here, so then I've got all 7 credits, which is nice, and then probably do some more re-rides. Well, this is an epic fail. I thought this was a roller coaster. So I was on top of the drop tower earlier on, saw over here and was like, oh, that was a pretty fun and unique roller coaster, not something that I've ever seen before. However, it's not. It's just the bit that holds the building together for the Super Splash, which is here. So they've got 2. They've got the Super Splash, which you can see just over there. And then they also have the log flume, which I put in some footage of before. I'll spin you around to the left just so you can see it. Looks like it's kind of a 2-drop special over there. It's just over there to the left of that blue structure is where you go for the log flume. I'm determined to find this last coaster. It looks like some sort of sea serpent type coaster. It's a pretty standard family coaster. Looks like it's over water, it might be quite good. So yeah, I'm going to head over towards Karnan, so I'm going to guess it's over there. It says it's in the Viking themed area. I thought that was it, but quite clearly not. Just while I'm walking over there, I saw this on the train on the way around. They've got something that says best kept secret here, which I'll spin you around so you can see in a second. But yeah, I'm going to scan the QR code and we'll see what it says. So this is what I think the best kept secret is about. This building here, if I bring it down, there's construction fence all the way around it. There's clearly something going on in there. And if I bring it down just here, you'll be able to see that it says best kept secret. So yeah, I'm going to scan the QR code quickly and we'll see what it says. So I've just scanned the QR code and I'm a bit confused because it just talks about the Cornwall coaster, which we saw earlier on in the British themed section of the park. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's on that building, because this building is nowhere near that. It would make more sense to put that QR code by the Cornwall coaster section, because I don't think it's going in there. It definitely looked like it was going over there. I mean, maybe it is going in here, but I'm pretty sure this isn't the British section of the park. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that. However, when I scan the QR code, it does say that it's a family thrill coaster coming next year, and it's going to have 3 forward launches and 3 backwards launches. Now, that plot of land over there didn't look big enough to have that sort of size of coaster there. So I'm a bit confused. Maybe it is going in there. I'm not sure. It's only 18 metres tall, so it's not a massive ride. And it's only 570 metres long, so again, not a huge ride either. So yeah, maybe it is going in this building behind me. Maybe it's going over there. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty good family coaster. 3 forwards and 3 backwards launches on a family coaster. Sounds decent to me. So while I'm walking to go and do this final coaster, if it's not over there, I haven't got a clue where it is. But I'm determined to get all 7 credits done today. I've still got another 2.5 hours or so to go. I'm going to go and give this Space Race dark ride a go. I think it's a dark ride. It's definitely got some sort of car out the front. that you can sit in and sort of test seat, I guess. So yeah, we're going to go and give this a go, and then we'll try and find the last coaster to go on as well. So after all that looking at Space Race, turns out it's not a dark ride, it's just a themed dodgems. So I won't be going and doing that. If you know me, I'm not a massive fan of dodgems. I think once you've done one, you've done them all. And it's just normally only kids trying to absolutely whack into you, and it's just not the most fun in the world. So yeah, we're going to go and try and find this last coaster. Hopefully see you when I get over there, and you'll have another great pronunciation from me. I can't even remember what it's called now. Begins with an S, but yeah, hopefully I'll see you over there. All right, I found it. Schwur von Novgorod? That's what we're going with. So, just in case you do come here, this is the entrance. It's not a massive entrance for it, but this is what it looks like, so you can see it. It's just next to the teacups that you can see there. So you've got Karnan up there, and you've got teacups just here, and then that is the entrance to the 7th and final coaster we've got to do here today. So, we'll go and jump on it and see what it's like when we get off. But the theming looks really good. I mean, you couldn't even find the entrance, it was that good. Let's go and have a look. Looks like it's walk-on. Smells really cool in here as well. That's all 7 roller coasters here at Hansa Park done. That was a decent little Gerstlauer family coaster to finish with. Nice that I was able to find it. I would pronounce its name, but I haven't got a clue how to pronounce it and just butchered it before. But yeah, overall a pretty decent ride. Some nice little theming on there. You get 2 laps on there, some decent animatronics to start with. Overall, yeah, a pretty good package, to be honest with you. Decent little family ride. The plan now is to go and get some merch for sure, and then it is to have another go on Karnan, which you just heard go past me just then. I'm going to try and get a front row because I really like to experience front row. I did that on the Novgorod coaster before, and that was good fun. So yeah, hopefully we can get a front row. If I do get a front row, I'll update you on what my opinion is. Just while I'm walking through the Karnan queue line, which is a really good queue line, you saw some footage of that before. Just want to quickly talk about the way that they do the wait times here. So they do them to the minute, which I think is trying to be a bit too precise. I think you should just round to the nearest 5. And also say they are massively overestimating them. I mean, the first one was what, 20-25 minutes or so when it was advertised this morning. I waited about 15 minutes. Everything else has been pretty much walk-on, even though it's been advertised at kind of 11, 12, 13 minutes. And this one's just advertised at 11 minutes, so we'll see how long I wait. It is 10 to 4, so I'm expecting it to be pretty much walk-on, to be honest. But yeah, just a little bit of a heads up. They don't offer any fast track or anything, so they're not trying to sell that. I just think trying to do it to the minute is trying to be a bit too precise. So yeah, I'll see you when I get off. Hopefully, of the front row of the Oath of Karnan? Yeah, the Oath of Karnan is what it's called, or I'm not going to try and pronounce it in German. Yeah, the Oath of Karnan is what we're going to stick with. So since I last spoke to you, I have basically lapped Karnan. I think I've had probably close to 7 or 8 more goes on there. I think I've had 12 altogether. I was really hoping for a front row, and unfortunately I didn't get it. That's the one thing I don't like about the way that you kind of are assigned rows. So you're kind of in the queue bit before you go into kind of 4 rows of 4, and then you get assigned a row from there. So it's not like if you're in row 1, you're guaranteed to get row 1. I've basically tried everything I possibly could to get on there. I just lapped it. It was basically been walk on for the last hour. I was really hoping to get it, but no, I just couldn't manage to get it. I think from looking at it, around about 80% of the ones of the ride that I've had, row number 2, when you've been assigned rows, gets assigned row 1. So if you are wanting to get row 1 on the actual vehicle, get assigned row 2. As daft as that sounds, but that's kind of how it works really. If you come here and you experience it, it'll make more sense. Overall, a really good park. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Karnan and Escape from Novgorod have to be the highlights. Both really good coasters. Are they in my top 10? No, they're not, but in their own right, they are really good. Especially Karnan, that unique element of the drop on the lift hill is brilliant. Really good. Took me by complete surprise. Had no idea that was going to happen. The rest of the layout is okay. It is a bit rough towards the end of the day and at the back of the train, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it's definitely not a top 10 coaster, but overall really good fun. And they've got some decent supporting flat rides, some decent supporting coasters as well. The drop tower was good, Nessie was decent, only managed one go on there, so when I come back here I'd like to have a few more goes on there. Overall, I'd say it's a 1-day park as well. Don't need 2 days here at all. It's got 2 major coasters. They've both been on less than 15 minutes while I've been here. But yeah, it is really good. But yeah, overall, it's been a pretty good day. Everything's been walk on. I'm at Hansa Park tomorrow, so there'll be a vlog coming from that. I was chatting to a couple of guys today, and they were saying that Hansa Park runs everything on one train, so we'll see how busy it is tomorrow. If it's similar to here, then everything should be sort of pretty much walk on, maybe 15 minutes max. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure you leave a like, drop me a comment, let me know if you've been to Hansa Park before, if you're coming out here, what you reckon your favourite and most anticipated ride is going to be. And please don't forget to subscribe. Over 80% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so if you could subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Gives me loads of motivation to keep making these videos for everybody. So yeah, on to Hansa Park tomorrow. I will see you there.